And now I realize my camera quality on the front-facing camera is only bad when I film a video. When I take a picture, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So yeah, I did this last year, but I only did 6 parts, and I wanted to focus on other stuff, and I got too uncomfortable, and of course, like depression, PTSD got the better of me. So yeah, I didn't finish the other parts. So I'm redoing this year. This is my Teletubbies memories. These are recapping the US dubbed Teletubbies episodes, most of which I watched when I was little. So yeah, I do this every year practically. So yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video. Both all these parts are gonna be long videos. Uh, so yeah, each part will be like half of each season. I hope they won't take as long as those other videos where like Quentin reviews and Kian Carlisle, I think that's how you pronounce it, recap a lot of like their favorite shows from the childhood. I hope that's not gonna be like that. I don't want to make a too long of a video. So the first episode is Emily and Jester. This was originally episode 16, was it? In the UK series? I don't know. In the US series, the episodes are different than the original UK version to make the episodes longer, because the episodes were a little too short. But even because like the episodes were too short, they added all these like PBS interstitials during the like after the funding credits. There's the famous "It's all how you look at it" bumpers. There's one with a sprinkler, one with a kid playing with pots and pans, and one where they're feeling something, they're guessing what it is, and it's spaghetti. And the mixing colors one, which is actually shortened in the Teletubbies airings because they cut out blue and red, making purple like violets, and mixing all the colors together. And sometimes they show like the "say hello to a new friend" uh, thing, which was made to promote the show when it first aired, and ironically was shown at the end of the episodes when we just said goodbye to them. And these were also shown like very late as 2008 when the show stopped airing on PBS. So yeah. So the first segment is the Trit Trot segment, ironically from Emily and the Trap. But instead they say Trot Trot. I don't really know why exactly. I don't think I remember this segment, honestly, but I feel like I may have seen it like once. I know it's on the Dance with the Teletubbies video, but yeah. And then the TV events, uh, it's a girl riding her pony. I do remember this TV event quite well, but it's actually slightly different than I remember. But yeah. But like, they use like a much different audio of the Teletubbies saying again, again when Dipsy's stomach lights up a second time. Uh, so yeah. But I don't remember that at all. And there's one scene that's cut. Uh, Emily getting Jester ready and patting him are cut, probably to save time because this is quite a long episode. But yeah, some of the baby sons giggling at the end is muted. Also, next up is the ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross. See a fine lady upon a white horse. Segment from Yellow Cow. Uh, yeah, and I do remember this segment. I remember seeing this episode on Sprout. I may have seen it on PBS as well, but I'm not sure. And the voice trumpets dialogue is re-recorded in this segment. Uh, it's the same voice from the nursery rhymes video when the segment was shown, but for some odd reason it sounds slightly different. I honestly could have sworn it was the same voice from the original UK version. And something else I don't remember is that the windmill's regular whooshing sound is heard just before the magical vent tune plays. And then they go watch the animal parade. It's the same version from Tweet Tweet, but the magical vent tune is a little bit off sync. The baby son's giggling is slightly different at the beginning, and she's heard giggling. She's seen giggling at the end, and then after that, they go watch. They go do another segment. This is like quite surprising. I didn't even know this happened. It's the Happy Walk segment from Going for a Walk. This is where the "Say Hello to New Friend" promo with Lala and it comes from. I honestly could have sworn this wasn't a different episode, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, it just starts with the field shot, not the opening shot that's usually seen at the beginning of most episodes. Yeah, Lala goes on a walk, and Tinky Winky and Dipsy follow her, but she doesn't notice. The baby son shown screaming at the end instead of showing uh the windmill spinning because they already did the animal parade. And then they do the tiptoe dance. This is the same version from Sarah, Fraser, and the Ducks, except they added the Teletubbies giggling during the dance, and the baby son's giggling is different at the end. And the voice trumpet was shown rising. It's almost like halfway up, which happens in quite a few episodes. Poe's the missing Teletubby, and Tinky Winky's the boo shouter. And there's some versions of this episode that are actually different than the original airing. I don't know if that's really true, but I may remember some of these. Apparently, the opening scene is a scene from Arcaf Treacle, where the Teletubbies are saying their names on a hill in a different order. I'm not sure if this is true. I might have gotten some of this information wrong. I'll probably look it up later. And the Banbury Cross segment is cut, but the opening shots for that segment are still shown before it cuts to the windmill spinning right away. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is for pledge drive airings of the episode, where the episodes are shorter to save time. I mean, it makes sense. There's 6 segments in this episode: the opening scene, the TV event, the Banbury Cross segment, the Animal Parade, Happy Walk, and the Tiptoe Dance. That's a lot for one episode. So yeah, and the end credits are also longer in these episodes, because in the original UK series, it only showed one Teletubby popping out the hole on top of the house saying bye bye one more time. But that doesn't happen here. It also happens in the home videos where they all 4 of them pop up. So yeah, in the rerun airings, I remember a lot of episodes were also different. I think that this was a thing with a lot of PBS shows. I think it happened with uh Sesame Street. Some segments were different. So from what I heard, the Banbury Cross segment is moved to the beginning, and the Animal Parade just starts right after the TV event again. Or wait, no, the Happy Walk segment is shown in the middle of the episode after TV event, and then the Animal Parade, which I think is the same version from Going for a Walk. So yeah. And I remember seeing this on Sprout, on PBS Kids Sprout. That was a 24-hour PBS Kids channel made in 2005. And I remember the episodes were so different than how I remember them, or how I've seen them. I remember the opening scene. I think it might have been the segment from Funky the Dolphin, where the Teletubbies are hopping over to the Tubby Custard machine. And I remember, I think I remember one of the rabbit clips from the rabbit song was shown just before the voice trumpet was heard rising for the main segment. And and I remember the Happy Walk segment was cut. Also for the tiptoe dance, the shortened version. And during the shortened version of the dance, they use a different shot of the Teletubbies posing at the end, which I do not remember at all. And I remember Tinky Winky was the missing Teletubby, and Poe, or Tinky Winky, was also the boo shouter. I remember one episode had like the same ending from like Ned's Bicycle, like the UK version, where Tiki Wiki's the boo shouter, but it was Poe that was the first one to pop out of the hole on top of the house, say goodbye a final time. I don't know if it was this episode. I mean, it kind of would have made sense since Poe was the last one to go down the slide. So yeah, I remember like some episodes, like a lot of episodes, the alternate ending music was played during this, where a lot of extra instruments were heard. This was heard in some of the home videos, but I could have sworn like a lot of the episodes had it, but I haven't seen any on YouTube that have it. So yeah. Next up, this episode aired on April 6th, 1998. This aired 6 years after the premiere of Barney and Friends. So yeah. And ironically, like the same year this aired, there was a Barney episode with a song that was introduced in the first Barney and Friends episode called Animal Parade. And that was the last episode to use the song because it probably caused confusion with this Animal Parade. So yeah. Episode 2 is Ned's Bicycle, or as some listings say, Ned's Good Bike. I mean, the episodes don't have title cards, only like some of the home videos do. So yeah. This was episode 1 in the UK series. This one has the morning exercises segment from throwing. I thought it was like a pretty funny segment when the voice trumpet wouldn't let them just like rest. And yeah. There's like one audio error where like at the end of the segment the Teletubbies are seen running up a hill and there's like no music playing and then like all of a sudden music just like cuts in. And I feel like that might have been an error, and I could have sworn they fixed that. So yeah. And then they watch the boy Ned fixing his bike. I remember this from the Favorite Things video, so I was shocked to see it on TV. And the child narrator is different in this episode than on that video. And a scene where like a clip of like Ned's dad about to turn the bike over is cut. The baby son screaming. I actually it's kept the same. I actually could have sworn the next segment started the same as in Favorite Things with like the different audio of the baby son screaming and the extended opening music and some of the rabbit clips from Favorite Things. But no, it did not. I was like shocked. Like the windmill bird's eye view clip scene without the sparkles and plays an alternate version of the magical vent tune. Ironically, a magical vent does not show up in this episode. There's actually quite a few instances where that happens. I also could have sworn there's one scene where like Poe and Tinky Winky were taking the flag into the house and they fall over was cut. And I remember seeing like a clip of that on YouTube. I was like, I just thought that was super hilarious. Also, they added, like in the original episode, I think the narrator said something appeared. He didn't say something appeared from far away. I think they fixed that here. And then after that, they do the up and down dance. Apparently, I heard some dances and magical events in the US series are actually taken from certain Sunday specials. These are kind of like the US episodes. They would put two episodes together and they would add something different. Like one of them would add a dance or a magical event. But I don't really know if that's true, really. But yeah, this one I heard is from the Sunday special version of Handy Hands. This episode aired a few days before the episode Painting Easter Eggs, which was the only like regular UK episode to have this dance. So yeah, in this episode, the Home Hill 4 opening shot is used, and I don't even remember this, but like the Teletubbies giggling from other dances are used. Some of the Teletubbies giggling from the Round and Round dance and the Happy Dance are used, and it's a shortened version. They only do the dance once. I'm not sure if I remember that happening in this episode, but I'm not sure. I also remember this started without an opening shot, and then it just cuts to the baby son screaming at the end. So yeah. And Lala's the missing Teletubby, and Poe's the Boo Shouter. Yeah, Lala being the missing Teletubby, that's when in the intro, like, the Teletubbies would count to 4 while jumping up onto the top of the house in a different order. It was always like one Teletubby being the last one. This one's Lala. And then Poe is the Boo Shouter. She pops up and says Boo first when the Teletubbies are playing Tubby Bye Bye. In the Pledge Drive airing, from what I heard, it had the Ready, Set, Go segment from Level Crossing. I'm not sure if I really remember that. I might remember if I might remember it in a different episode, but it came like in the middle of an episode, not the beginning. I'm not sure if they would have enough room for that. But yeah. Yeah, and the original episode was called Ready, Steady, Go, but I think they redubbed the dialogue to make it say Ready, Set, Go. And apparently they do the Follow the Leader dance, where it's the same version from Dance with the Teletubbies, where like the Teletubbies are seen watching the Nunu leave and they sigh at the end. I could have sworn there were a few episodes with this, but most of the other episodes I've seen don't have it, so I might remember this. I think it started without any opening shots, so yeah. And let's see. By the way, April 6th, when the first episode aired, it was the same day as Feeding the Monkeys in the UK series. This episode aired on April 7th of 1998, the same day as Naughty Hat. Both these episodes were released on a screener tape that you may have seen on YouTube somewhere. That was used as a sneak peek for the show, see if the show would get picked up. So yeah, it's extremely rare. I didn't even know it existed until I saw a video of it. I'm trying to think of like what else I'm supposed to say. Let's try the rerun airing. I might get the rerun airing wrong, but I think like it's the segment from, was it Milking Cows, where Poe brings her scooter in front of the trees? I better look it up. Yeah, it was the segment from Milking Cows, where Poe brings her scooter in front of the trees. I might get this information wrong. I'm not sure. And then instead of the up and down dance, I think it's the round and round dance. I think it. Oh wait, no, that's a different airing. Oh, I keep messing things up. No, I think like it's the Magic House and Running Away dance. It's a top right window version of the Magic House, and the Running Away dance is the same version from the Sunday special version of Football, where it's the shortened version, from what I've heard. I'm not sure if this episode or a different episode, but yeah. Next up, episode 3 is Music with Debbie. These episodes were aired out of order. Obviously, they were aired in a random order. This was originally a season 2 episode, I think. So yeah. Each segment, the narrator's dialogue is different than when these segments were shown in some of the home videos. But yeah, the first segment, I don't even remember this episode at all. I only remember, like, the main segment with the butterfly. Like, every other segment, like, I don't remember at all. And I remember the TV event was the same one from Music with Debbie 2. In fact, like, the original UK version of this episode is called Singing with Debbie. So yeah. So this has the 4 Happy Teletubbies segment from the UK version of Jumping. And instead of the narrator saying sitting in the sun, he says lying in the sun. So yeah. And then the TV event is where they playing Music with Debbie. The reason why I don't remember this TV event is because, like, it's so different from the second TV event. Like the second one had the two little uh uh dicky birds, I think that's what's called. Yeah, and I remember seeing like both Music with Debbie 1 and 2 listed on Sprout on Demand. But I only remember like the TV event for the second episode. Did they like use the that TV event for like the Sprout airing of this episode? I don't know. Also, uh, the audio Poe uh, cheering when she gets chosen for a TV event is also different than how I remember. I remember it was the one used in most of the later episodes. I think a lot of the US episodes have that happen. And then there's the butterfly segment from Tweet Tweet. And this is where the say hello to new friend, Poe segment shows up. The animators for the butterfly are uncredited in this episode. At the Yeah, it's a very similar to the SpongeBob episode Wormy, where everyone was scared of like the butterfly, and yeah, the Teletubbies seemed to feel the same way as it was wandering through the land. At the end of the segment, it shows the baby son giggling. I could have sworn just showed a closing shot before that happened, and I could have sworn this had the jumping dance at the end, but instead it has the bumping dance instead, like a typo almost, like autocorrect, I guess. It's the same version from Feeding Sheep in the Winter, but they added a Baby Sun clip at the beginning. It's the same clip that shows up at the end. This version of the bumping dance shows up in a lot of episodes. So yeah, and the voice trip is almost halfway up. Uh, Dipsy is the missing Teletubby, and also the Boo Shouter. I could have sworn this had the alternate ending music when I saw this on Sprout, but no. Let me see if I'm gonna get the information of the pledge drive airing right. So, the original segment where Lala singing her lovely song appears at the beginning, uh, and at the end, I think it shows the footage of the Teletubbies saying "uh-oh" from Funny Walks at the end of the episode. I think like the original windmill animation was used, from what I heard. I'm not really sure if that's true. And and then they do the jumping dance. It's the same version from Irish Dancing, uh, where like Tinky Winky falls down the hill and he sneaks up on the other Teletubbies, and they see the windmill spinning and the Magic House plays. It's the top left window version. I don't think I ever saw the top left window versions. I don't even know what I'm saying. I think I saw like once when I was little, but I almost forgot. I think the windmill stopped spinning. And yeah, for the rerun airing, from what I heard, is the Say Our Names segment that I already mentioned. I honestly kind of thought this was the episode that I saw with that on Sprout. And then, they do the Dancing Bear, uh, same version from Lorette Tap Dancing, from what I heard, and the jumping dance at the end is the same version from Butterfly, where like it's a shortened version where Tinky Winky falls down the first time instead of getting up and jumping some more. It cuts to footage of him uh, falling down and rolling down the hill the second time. I might remember an episode with that, but I'm not sure if this was the one. But yeah, Poe is the missing Teletubby in the Pledge Drive airing, by the way. And then Sprout airing, from what I heard, I don't know if this is true, but it has the Boo segment from Washing the Bus, where the Teletubbies' faces are seen up close, and they watch. I don't know what I was gonna say. And apparently they do the dancing bear in the middle of the episode, dancing twice. And then, yeah, that's all the information I could find. I don't know. I really have to redo this. Tinky Winky's the missing Teletubby and Sprout airing, at least from what I remember. I think like uh, Lala is the Boo Shouter. I think like a lot of episodes have Dipsy being both the missing Teletubby and the Boo Shouter. A lot of those episodes, those are really boring episodes. This aired on April 8th of 1998, the same day as Gingerbread Boy. Uh, Now, ice skating, this one pretty much remains almost exactly the same as the UK version. I remember seeing this on like PBS, like way back in like 2004, I think. I think on Sprout a few times, but I barely remember it on Sprout. So basically, it has the same opening segment where Tinky Winky slips on the tubby custard. This is where the "Say hello to a new friend. This is Tinky Winky" promo comes from. The segment starts with the Home Hill 1 opening shot rather than the closing shot, even though that was still shown when the segment was on. Was it All Together Teletubbies? Yeah, I think it was that one. Some of the Teletubbies dialogue is edited in off sync, also. So yeah, and then they watched the TV event with the kids ice skating. I barely remember this TV event, honestly. But yeah, yeah. There's a weird error where like Tinky Winky's antenna sound was heard when Dipsy's antenna was about to play TV event again. Some of the lines are repeated also. And I think like in the original episode, the baby son, when she was shown giggling at the end, she was heard screaming instead. But here they fixed that. That was the case with a lot of episodes. And then they do the holding hands segment. This is a very popular segment that you may have seen on YouTube. It was one of the first Teletubbies videos that ever appeared on YouTube. So yeah, I don't remember the segment too much. I might have seen it on PBS when I was like very little. And then they do the tiptoe dance, and it's the extended version. And I don't even remember the extended version of the tiptoe dance. Honestly, I only remember like the shortened version of most episodes. The only other one I remember is the one from Dance with the Teletubbies, where like when they do the dance the second time, it was only half the dance they did. And yeah, but I do remember seeing this extended version of the dance on TV like once back in 2004. But I don't remember like there's one thing: the Teletubbies giggling is off sync. That only happened in the UK episode Sea Lions. So yeah, but it happens in a lot of the US episodes. Yeah, I think it also happened to Emily and Jester as well. So yeah, and uh, Tinky Winky's the missing Teletubby, and Lala's the Boo Shouter. That's another common missing Teletubby and Boo Shouter pairing. This episode aired on April 9th, 1998, the same day as Rabbits, or Looking for Rabbits, as everyone says. And in uh, in the pledge drive airing, from what I heard, the holding hands segment appears at the beginning of the episode, and the Tubby Custard slip segment appears after the TV event. And yeah, I think they do the Dancing Bear, which is the same version from Yellow Cow. So yeah, and the rerun airing, from what I heard, uh, like the tiptoe dance is cut, and or maybe like the hold hand segment comes after tiptoe dance, I think, and they use the original ending where the Teletubbies see the windmill spinning and they say "oh" and run off, and then the windmill stops spinning. I vaguely remember seeing this, but I'm not sure. Uh, but yeah, and I remember it was, I think, the same audio of the windmill spinning from Dirty Dog after the lion and bear disappeared. So yeah, like instead of the windmill stopping sound playing twice. So yeah, and pose the boo shouter in the pledge drive airing. I think I remember, like on Sprout, when I saw this, I remember this was so much different. I kind of remember like the opening segment had the original closing shot used as an opening shot, and uh, instead of the hold hands segment, I remember it was the happy walk segment because like holding hands seems a bit inappropriate to some people. So yeah, and I remember the segment ended before Poe appeared, and the tiptoe dance was the shortened version, much like in Emily and Jester. Washing Up. This was aired much later on in the series. This has the segment from Living in Flats where Lala dances with her ball. I can't remember when I saw this segment. It was a mix between this scene and the segment from Painting Easter Eggs, where it's kind of the same thing. I remember the segment started with the long shot of like Lala just walking to the camera for like a really long time from in the background. Like in Living in Flats, I think that's where it happened. But I remember the dance she did was very similar to in Painting Easter Eggs, where she throws her ball up in the air, but then at the end of the segment, she did uh, the dance like in Living Flats. And I remember the TV event music was the same one from the beach. It was not off sync like in most episodes. Yeah, I remember live episodes where that happens, but I don't remember it happening like this. So yeah, and then the TV event. Uh, when Lala gets chosen for the TV event, Tinky Winky's antenna sound effects heard because of Living in Flats. The original episode had Tinky Winky being chosen. Not that many episodes have that kind of error, but there are a few that do. So yeah, I don't think I remember this TV event at all. Honestly, it's a little girl named Yvette, uh, washing her dishes, and the parts where she washes her teapot lid, putting away the bowl, and her mom appearing are cut. Actually, her mom appearing, I remember being cut in like the pledge drive airing. The baby son's giggling at the end is different, but I heard it's the same in the pledge drive airing. The same audio of her giggling instead of, or her screaming instead of giggling. And then the second half of the episode is the same second half from Cafe Chocolate, which I do kind of remember. The Teletubbies were eating so much tubby custard that they felt tired and fell asleep outside. And like they were woken up by the windmill. This segment shocked me when I saw the windmill spinning like that. So yeah, then they say "uh oh" and they run off to watch the three ships. I think that's why I remember. And unlike in Cafe Chocolate, the Teletubbies are actually heard giggling when the three ships starts. So yeah, but instead of the windmill stopping, the Teletubbies do the stamping stepping dance. It's very weird because it's kind of the same version from the UK version of jumping, but also from the UK version of Dance with the Teletubbies. It starts with the same Sun Baby clip at the beginning, and the Teletubbies are not heard giggling at all, unlike in most other US episodes with the dances. But the same audio of them cheering from Dance with the Teletubbies is used. There's no fade effect from the baby son smiling to the voice trumpet. So yeah, and wow, this is so complicated to do. Uh, Tinky Winky, or no, Poe is the missing Teletubby and also the Boo Shouter. And then don't worry, I'm okay. So yeah, I don't remember much of the pledge drive airing. I'm not sure if the pledge drive airing had that dream segment I was talking about with the mix of both Lala dancing with her balls segments, but yeah, but I think I remember the uh, like instead of the stamping stepping dance, I think the windmill stopped spinning, like in the original episode. I think I might also remember the Teletubbies were also not heard giggling when the three ships started, much like in Cafe Chocolate. Tinky Winky's the missing Teletubby, uh, and Dipsy is the Boo Shouter. I think I might remember the alternate ending music was used, and the rerun airing. I don't know which version I saw, the rerun airing or pledge drive airing, but like one of these I saw. The rerun airing I think had the same version from the Follow the Leader dance from Dance with the Teletubbies. Because I do remember seeing that at my grandmama's house, which is where I saw the washing up episode. But like I'm not sure if I saw it on that episode or if that was only on the Dance with the Teletubbies video that I was watching when I was visiting there. So yeah, and in the Sprout airing instead, they do the running away dance, which this is the same version from the UK version of Becky and Jed finding eggs, which is the shortened version. So yeah, the voice trumpet's halfway up in the irregular airing also. Uh, Lala's the Boo Shouter and the Sprout airing. I think Dipsy is as well. Uh, or wait, Lala is the missing Teletubby. I think Dipsy is the Boo Shouter in the Sprout airing as well. This aired on April 10th, 1998, the same day as Painting Easter Eggs.